Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Arden Studios and welcome back to another YouTube video. And guys, in today's YouTube video, we are going to be making our 2023 Bee Swarm Simulator tier list. But today's video is not going to be on the main bees because not too much has changed since I made my 2022 or I think it might have even been in 2021 Beesmas tier list for the last Beesmas. Today's video is going to be a Robo-Challenge tier list in Bee Swarm Simulator. So I'm basically going to be going through every single bee, and by the way guys, your resolution's not bad. The actual resolution of my tier list is just low. Today we're actually going to be going through and talking about every bee compared to the Robo-Challenge. So I'll be ranking them based off how good they are for the Robo-Challenge. So here's all the disclaimers in mind. Number one, I want you guys to know that I'm assuming all bees that we rank are gifted. So we're assuming they're all in their gifted state. Also, I know hive color matters, obviously if you're wearing the diamond mask during the Robo-Challenge, which I don't recommend by the way, I would much rather you wear the demon mask, but I know hive color is also a factor. Obviously if you're a blue hive you don't have as many choices, but I am not taking into account any hive color. I'm literally ranking each bee objectively based off where they stand in the Robo-Challenge. So with that being said, let's get straight into today's video. Our tiers are going to be Robo Destroyer, Amazing, Decent, Only Take It if you really need to, Avoid Taking This, Reroll, and then Waste of Space is honestly going to be for the bees where I don't even know why they're necessarily in your hive. I don't actually know if I'm even going to put a bee in this tier, but yeah, let's get straight into it, starting off with Baby Bee. So, first and foremost, Baby Bee is going to be a quick one. All you're really getting out of Baby Bee is baby love, but during something like the Robo-Challenge, that is going to be pretty important. Now, if you have better choices, I would highly recommend you get them. I don't know if Gifted Tadpole is necessarily better than a Baby Bee. I'm gonna have to say Baby Bee is decent. Next up on the list, Gifted Basic Bee. This is honestly going to be an amazing bee to take. Now, this is going to be a slightly controversial opinion, but if you think about it, this is literally just a free 1.2x pollen update, or I don't actually remember. Let me check really quick. I don't actually remember if Basic Bee is 20% or 1.2x. Yeah, 1.2x pollen boost, that is huge. Basic Bee is going to be amazing. Next up is going to be Bear Bee. Now, Bear Bee is also incredible. I think one of the best things about Bear Bee is going to be the fact that some of the morphs can actually just boost your, ability to move. And if you get rare bears that give you special boosts, that can be a much better thing. So, honestly, it's a better version of the Baby Bee. I'm going to have to say it's amazing. If I'm being real, Gifted Bomber Bee is not that good for the Robo-Challenge. There's so many better options. I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna have to put Bomber Bee inside of the Avoid tier. Honestly, if you have Bomber Bee in your role and it's the best thing you can get, it might even be worth re-rolling. And that's, by the way, when I say re-roll, I mean if this is the best bee you can take, just re-roll. But yeah, now Brave Bee, on the other hand, which is not known for being that good in normal Bee Swarm Simulator, I actually think is decent just because of the +1 bee attack for your entire hive. It's not great, but if you have to take it, I would recommend you get Brave Bee. Now, Gifted Bubble Bee. Honestly, this is where it depends on the dynamic of your hive. So if you're gonna have a ton of tadpoles, which I'll get into why I don't think that's a good idea later, but if you end up having to have a ton of tadpoles, obviously Bumblebee is gonna be huge just for that 50% bubble pollen increase. But I'd have to say it's really not great. I would rather have a Brave Bee over a Bumblebee in my hive dynamic. So I'm gonna have to put it and only take it if you have to. I honestly think Bucko is a similar case. It gives you blue boost and blue field capacity, but you have to deal with so many enemies, and especially in the earlier rounds, I don't even know if you'll be able to stack blue boost. If I'm being honest, I would avoid Bucko Bee, but I'm gonna put it above Bomber because I still think Bomber is worse. Now, Bumblebee is going to be a bee that makes blue bomb and will boost your overall capacity a bit with its gifted hive bonus. I'll be real with you, I do think that Bumblebee is honestly going to be worse than a Bumblebee because, again, a lot of the Robo-Challenge is this is an attacking game mode. You're trying to kill the enemies first so you can get pollen second, and while Bumblebee is going to make Blue Bomb and have bubbles, Bumblebee is going to be worse. So next up is Buoyant Bee, which honestly is a bee I don't really see talked about a lot in regards to the challenge. Obviously Buoyant Bee used to be one of, if not the best mythics in the game because of its ability with capacity. But all it's really going to do is help you out with the capacity and pollen collection, which, if we're being real, isn't that necessary in the Robo-Challenge. It is going to give you 1.2x capacity as its gifted bonus, which is amazing, by the way. But it's just more blue bombs. Honestly, its attack stat is okay. It's not anything super special. But, if I'm being real with you, the balloons are not very useful. The only time that I would actually say that a balloon is useful is going to be when you have to do like a convert quest, but those are literally one of the worst quests to get during the Robo-Challenge. I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to say that Buoyant Bee is honestly an only take it if you have to. I think I'd rather have Brave Bee. The bee attack boost is so important, and in fact, I'll actually put Brave Bee at the bottom of decent. Okay. Next up on the list is going to be Carpenter Bee. Now, again, the reason why you have to take into account like attack stat and all with these kinds of bees is because even if they have amazing amazing ability tokens, if they're constantly attacking a Cogmo, how are they ever gonna make it? So I'll be real with you, Carpenter Bee is one of those bees that is decent in the sense that, hey, you know what? You are going to be able to get your marks in. It is going to help you get pollen. Carpenter's always been a great bee. I'm going to put it at the bottom of decent. And then we get straight into Cobalt and Crimson. I'll do them both at the same time. Each of them will give you instant conversion respectively in their categories if they're gifted. They do have the bomb sync ability and they have the pulse ability. Now, one pro of this bee is that its attack is actually okay. If you look at the colors, it has like a green level attack, which means it's pretty decent. If I'm being honest, Cobalt and Crimson Bee are kind of bees that are just going to help you out a little. I'm not saying they're anything crazy. I would rather take like a Carpenter Bee over them if I'm being honest, but I am going to put them up in the decent tier. Now, we're getting into some of the more interesting bees, especially because of how important crits are going to be during the challenge. Commander Bee is going to get you a nice plus 3% critical chance during battle. He is going to make focus for you, which is going to help you a ton with those crits, and he does make Buzz Bomb afterwards. Anything that's helping you out with crits and all is useful, and honestly, I would say that Commander Bee is going to be a decent bee for the Robo-Challenge. In fact, I'm putting it above Baby Bee because of how low Baby Bee's actual attack stat is. Next up, we've got Cool Bee, and I'll also do Rad Bee while we're at it. Let's be real here, guys. Cool Bee and Rad Bee have really good gifted hive bonuses because you're getting plus 15% of a respective color, but all they do other than that is give you boosts. Now, plus 15% is going to be pretty big, especially during the Robo-Bear challenge, but because I really got to take into account attack, and both of these bees have a pretty devastatingly low attack stat, I'm gonna have to say you really only need to take them if you absolutely have to. And I feel bad, but we are gonna see throughout this that red bees are gonna be shining a lot more than blue bees because of that attack difference. So I'm gonna have to put them in only take it if you have to. And actually, while we're on that note, I did put Bucko Bee in the avoid tier. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna stick with that because I do think that the pollen increase for colors is better. So next up is going to be the Demo Bee. Now, Demo Bee is going to give you plus 30% Buzz Bomb pollen, which is honestly not bad. Buzz Bomb Plus is an okay ability, but I don't see this bee being any different from Bomber Bee. I'm going to have to put it at the top of the avoid tier. Next up is Demon Bee, another bee which is not really used in many bee swarm hives in general. 15% instant bomb conversion is decent. They are going to have the Gathering Flames passive, and their attack stat is honestly not too shabby. I'm going to have to put Demon Bee at the bottom of only take it if you have to. In fact, honestly, I think it's better off here just because of the fact that instant conversion during the Robo-Challenge can hurt you if you have a convert quest. I would think that this would be the best spot. Now, Diamond Bee is going to boost your convert rate, which you don't necessarily need. It's going to give you a honey gift, which is okay, and it's mainly going to help with conversion-related things. This does not matter during the Robo-Challenge, if I'm being honest, and Diamond Bee has a very, very low attack stat, so in spite of its conversion rate, I'm honestly going to have to put it at the bottom of the avoid tier. In fact, if Diamond Bee is really the best thing you can do, I would say just reroll. It does make blue boost, though, which is okay. I'll put it at the bottom of avoid. Next up on the list is going to be the Exhausted Bee. So one of the main things about Exhausted Bee, it does have infinite energy. It makes Buzz Bomb and Token Link. Token Link is going to be a decent, it is helpful. Again, Music Bee is obviously a much better alternative, but for all of my really early and mid-game players out there, I would honestly say it has one attack too. If I'm being real with you guys, I would not re-roll if exhausted, but actually I think I would. So I am going to move Exhausted Bee into re-roll, and I did move Diamond Bee there as well after thinking about it a bit. I would honestly re-roll if this is your best shot. Now next up is going to be the Gifted Festive Bee. So let me quickly pull the Festive Bee stats up. Plus 50% red pollen. That is not bad. It is just like, if we're being honest, it's just like a rad bee. Now, you get Festive Gift, which, let's be real, that's useless during the Robo-Challenge. Not useless, but it's not that necessary. Red Bomb Plus is okay. It is going to help you out with those quests quite a bit. And then you also get Honey Mark Plus, which is actually one of the really good things. It's just a good bee, honestly. I'd say it's just at the bottom of decent. And honestly, I'll actually put it above Cobalt and Crimson because I do like the fact that it makes Honey Mark Plus. Now, next up we got Fire Bee. This is going to be one that's really dependent on those red hives. If we go ahead and look at Fire Bee itself, I know that it gives plus 50% Flame Pollen, has Gathering Flames, and Red Bomb Plus. Overall, just an amazing epic bee all around if you're a red hive. And honestly, if you're going for Red Pollen quest, it's going to help, but it's just another pollen collector. I'm going to have to say that we're going to have to put Fire Bee over up in the bottom of the decent tier. In fact, again, above Cobalt and Crimson, who I'm realizing are okay. Next up on the list is going to be our counterpart, Frosty Bee, who's going to give you more Blue Bomb Pollen, make Blue Boost, and Blue Bomb. It's just a better Bucko in my opinion. You're really trying to kill enemies, and if we take a look at Frosty's attack stat, it is not good. So, I would not take Frosty Bee that much, but I'd say you should avoid it. Maybe not as much. I would rather take a Frosty over a demo, but I would say you avoid it. And now things are getting interesting because we're back up to the more important bees. Fuzzy Bee. Its gifted hive bonus boosts bomb power, which isn't that important. Its attack is not great, but of course it is the Fuzz Bomber. So, pollinating fields during the Robo-Challenge is a little bit of a tricky one because it's not too important. Like, I really don't think that you're going to be able to get like crazy amounts of pollination in a field if you need it. But in the event that you get the gifted ability of Pollen Haze, this bee is going to make a difference, okay? It's really good. It's a pretty important bee. I think I'm going to go ahead and put it at the bottom of the amazing tier. Now, the Gummy Bee is actually really an interesting case because I feel like it's only super important if you need to do a goo quest. And you can always just use gumdrops to do goo quests instead. So, I do think Gummy Bee is important, but its attack is not great, and it only matters during goo quests. So, in my opinion, it is going to be important, but it's not the most important. It's just a decent bee. And actually, on that note, let me quickly see. Yeah, its gifted hive bonus is more honey per pollen, which is really important, but not during the Robo-Bear Challenge. So, if we go ahead and take a look now, Gifted Hasty Bee is going to be a actually unique case where I think I'm going to rank it quite high. Because it not only gives plus 20% player move speed to help counteract the mosquitoes making you slower, it gives you haste too. And one thing I've realized is speed matters during the Robo-Challenge. You become so slow, and once I start talking about Precise Bee, I just think speed is super important. So if I'm going to be completely real with you guys, Hasty Bee is up there in the amazing tier. Okay? Now, next up is going to be Honeybee, guys. I'm not making any jokes about it today. I'd like to put, Honeybee in the Robo Destroyer tier, but if we're being realistic here, Honeybee, it makes Honey Mark, which is good. Honey Gift is not that important. And its gifted hive bonus is more honey from tokens. I'll be honest with you guys, this is honestly a bee you can reroll. I mean, you don't even need the convert links that bad. Next up is going to be Lion Bee, which now, just because of Lion Bee's attack, it honestly is going to get a lot more credibility. I still remember when Bee Swarm first came out, this used to be one of the best bees just because of its attack stat. It's not only going to boost your colorless bee attack, it's going to have an amazing attack stat on its own. I would just say that Lion Bee is a pretty decent bee to have. Next up is going to be Looker Bee, another super important bee because crit chance is going to be imperative during the Robo Challenge. With plus 25% crit power and only making focus, this bee is honestly super good. It is an amazing bee to have. Now, next up on the list is going to be Music Bee. Let's go. If I'm being real with you guys, I don't know if this is a Robo Destroyer, but this is definitely the best amazing bee in the game. In fact, it's so close to the line, I'm not even sure. Other than the Pawn from Bee Gathering, you're getting Melody, Focus, and Token Link, which are like the trifecta of 3 of the most important tokens in Bee Swarm. I would always pick a Music Bee if it's an option, unless any bee in the Robo Destroyer tier was above it. So yeah, this is really priority based. Basically, if I had to choose between Music Bee and Basic Bee, actually, I'd probably choose Bear Bee or Basic Bee over Music Bee, but I definitely choose Music Bee over any other bee in this entire tier list. So now, okay, I'll be real with you, Ninja Bee, I forgot about you. You do give haste and give bee move speed, but it's not nearly as good as Hasty Bee. You're probably just somewhere in the decent tier. Now, Photon Bee is honestly a bee I've always thought of as probably being better. I mean, it gives some instant convert, and the Beamstorm, I think Beamstorm's a little overrated. Like, it's not great. It's just okay. But during those early rounds, when you really don't have a good way of getting pollen, Beamstorm is going to be useful. I honestly think Photon Bee can go at the bottom of the amazing tier. And now, next up on the list is going to be Precise Bee, which, if I am being honest with you, this is a Robo Destroyer, okay, guys? If I'm just being completely real, this bee can hit above its level, which is incredibly important for the later rounds. You're getting precision, and honestly, people do not realize how important target practice is during the Robo-Challenge. During an early round, if you can hit all 3 targets and stand in them, you can literally get, like, all of your pollen's worth during that one round, because Precise Bee's ability is so good. So, in exchange for having an obscenely good attack stat, being one of the best honest pollen collectors, and hitting above its level, it is one of the best bees in the Robo-Challenge. There are very few instances, and we'll get to them, where I actually wouldn't choose Precise Bee and I'd choose a different bee. Now, Puppy Bee is kind of useless. It gives Bond from Treats. I'm not really playing Fetch with it during the Robo-Challenge. This is a Bond heavy. Honestly, I don't like calling this your waste of space. I don't like calling it that, but I'm just gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. This is just useless for the Robo-Challenge, because that is what Puppy Bee is. Like, you don't even just reroll. If that's the best bee you can get. It does have an okay attack stat, but Fetch is not great, and Puppy Love isn't great. This bee is a good bee in Bee Swarm. It's just not meant for the Robo-Challenge. Next up is going to be Rage Bee. If you can't get Spicy Bee, this is a great alternative, because Rage is honestly a super useful ability token for the Robo-Challenge. It gives overall bee attack and token link. I'd have to say Rage Bee is going up there in the amazing tier, right above Fuzzy Bee. Now, this Rad Bee right here, I'm going to put it in the same area as Bumblebee. It's pretty much the same case. Riley Bee, same case as Bucko. Again, Red Hive is better for the Robo-Challenge, and if you are I didn't clarify this, if you're a certain hive color, like you're a blue hive or a red hive, all of these bees I'm telling you to avoid, like Riley Bee and Bucko Bee, don't avoid them, still take them, because they'll help your hive color a lot, but in general for the Robo-Challenge, they're not great. Actually, for the later waves, they're pretty good, so I might actually move these guys up to only take it if you have to. And then if we go ahead now and looked over at the Shocked Bee, that is going to be plus 25% White Pollen, Haste, and Token Link. It's just good. Like, it's decent. Honestly, it's above Cobalt and Crimson and Ninja, and maybe Fire Bee too. And then Shy Bee is going to be a nice little red boosting bee. It has a new Nectar ability, which has actually like made it more important to the game, but not going to help you at all during the Robo Bear Challenge by any means. It does give more bee ability pollen, but other than that, I would say it's just a pretty good bee. Honestly, gets to be with Ninja Bee. Spicy Bee is going to be one of those amazing bees. I would probably, honestly, in the early waves, choose Spicy Bee over the Music Bee, just because I really like its ability. Inferno gives you more beasts to fight for you, and it overall just boosts your attack in its entirety. Now, the Stubborn Bee, if I'm being completely real with you guys, this bee is just kind of useless during the Robo Bear Challenge. It's already kind of looked down upon in Bee Swarm. Ability token lifespan is important, though, especially when you're slow. I'd say only take it if you have to. If I'm being completely honest, yeah, it's not a super high-ranked bee. This whole only take it if you have to tier is kind of just random anyway. Tabby Bee is amazing. Honestly, I would take it over the Spicy Bee. You're going to get more crit power, and Scratch is incredible. And then going into our final 4 bees, which are 4 of the best bees. Or, well, maybe not all of them. Tadpole Bee, is just decent during the Robo-Bear challenge. I really hate to do this, guys. I really do. It is a mythic bee, and if you're a blue hive, by the way, if you're a blue hive, it is super good. Don't get me wrong. But in a general sense, the tadpole bee has very, very low attack stat. It's gathering bubbles, and it does give gifted baby love. Actually, just because it gives baby love, I'll put it above baby bee. But in general, it's not great. It also has a great gifted hive bonus. I'll go ahead and put it up here, actually, under Lion Bee. It's a good bee, but I just don't think it's amazing. And honestly, I'm going to move down Photon Bee as well because of that ranking right there. So yeah, let me just go ahead and do that. Then we've got Vector Bee, which honestly, Vector Bee is just a great bee. I love using Vector Bee during the Robo-Challenge because Triangulate is one of the greatest ways to get that early on pollen. He is going to synergize with your marks, give you marks, and then Mark Surge is kind of like it's honestly a little useless if you can't get a lot of marks. I'm going to say this is an amazing bee though. It really is going to help you out. I'm going to put it next to Spicy. And then last but not least, we have got Vicious Bee, Windy Bee, and I didn't mention this, I don't have Digital Bee on this tier list, but I will rank it at the end. So give me 1 second, guys. Vicious Bee is definitely the Robo Destroyer. I mean, I'm talking you need to get this bee on round 1 if you can. It is going to destroy the hordes of mosquitoes. You need it to do that insane amount of damage and kill those bosses during the challenge. Vicious Bee is the bee for attack, and on top of that, it helps blue hives out. Windy Bee, I don't think it's as necessary as Precise Bee, but the Tornado is going to be very, very important, and you're going to want to get it early on. And then if Digital Bee was on here right now, guys, I would have Digital Bee right at the top of this. It is the Robo Destroyer, the ultimate bee of the Robo Challenge. You do need to get Digital Bee if you can because it helps so much during this challenge with the hack ability, with all of the different things it does, and field corruption. So, with that being said, that is going to be it for today's tier list, guys. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. I had a lot of fun making it, and this is going to be the complete tier list, in my opinion, for the Robo-Bear Challenge in Bee Swarm Simulator. Remember, pretend there's a Digital Bee up at the top. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Peace.